Stage set. Game on the line.
Listen to the crowd. They'll tell you whether he kicks it or not.
245th straight game. Crisp.
It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time. It never happened. It's false. It never happened. It's a fake. It's fiction. It's an urban legend that never happened.
Oh, Crisp.
G'day guys, Nate here, coming at you with the Round 8 review of Collingwood v Geelong, Saturday night at the MCG. 82,000 in attendance to see Jack Crisp break the VFL AFL record for most consecutive games played, and also see Jack Crisp miss a set shot after the siren to lose a game. Collingwood going down by 3 points, 12-15-87 to Geelong, 13-12-90. Our 6-game win streak comes to an end, and we're also knocked off top spot at the end of this round. If Fairytales aren't real, Santa Claus isn't real. If I can't have nice things in life, then nobody should have nice things in life right now. I am recording this on a Sunday afternoon. Bear with me for the delayed review and also upload. I'm still processing this loss, still trying to mourn this loss, if you will. I'm not used to these close losses. Plus, it's been a jam-packed weekend for me. I was at Marvel Stadium Friday night for St Kilda v Fremantle, so apologies to myself on that one. Saturday morning in the queues to vote, I was in there for 80 to 90 minutes, then headed over to Victoria Park to watch the VFLW, as well as the VFL as well, and then headed over from Victoria Park to the MCG, and then got home about midnight last night, slept in, thought, just not be reactionary about this loss. Again, let it marinate and then do this review. So it's been a jam-packed weekend, still trying to process everything that's been involved, but we're getting through it. We had a loss in the AFL, a loss in the VFL, and also a loss in the VFLW. 3 losses for Collingwood, 3 L's, but we can turn 3 L's into 3 W's if you guys subscribe to my channel, like my videos, leave a comment as well. Cheap plugs, terrible segue, but let's just get into the review. So there's a common saying in footy, bad kicking is bad footy, and for Collingwood, bad set shot kicking is bad footy. 12-15-87, could have easily have been 15-12-102, could have easily been another win for Collingwood, but we've shoot ourselves in the foot. These set shot conversions were going to bite us in the arse eventually. We were going into this game ranked 16th, third lowest for set shot accuracy or goal accuracy at 46%. We had improved on that in recent weeks from 35% up to 46%, but so had the rest of the competition. Geelong, they were ranked 4th for their set shot or goal accuracy at the moment, so and Geelong were accurate yet again in this game. So we have ourselves to blame for this one. 12-15-87. I checked as well. After 8 rounds, if we flip 5 set shot behinds to 5 set shot goals, we go from 7th to 4th in points for averages. So it's the little things that are making or breaking teams. And for us, it's our set shot conversion at the moment. It's cost us the win here. It nearly cost us against the Bulldogs. It clearly cost us and more against the Giants as well. So it's an area that we need to improve on. It's been a thorn in our side in recent weeks, and it's unfortunately caught up to us at the moment, and particularly against a side like Geelong, who's going to make a team like us play as well in a big game like this. And to be brutally honest, Jack Crisp, that set shot behind, was symbolic for our loss here against Geelong. Now, I know the side narrative out of this game is going to be the umpiring calls and the controversial decisions made late in that final quarter. To somewhat defend the umpiring and not show a bias here, the Bulldogs win. I still get shit from mates in regards to the free kick count and how the umpiring gave us the win against the Bulldogs. Plus 19, 33-14 in terms of free kick count, but also our failed set shot conversions. We only won that game by 6 points. We kicked 10 goals, 16 for the game. I still counteract that argument in terms of the final quarter stats. We dominated contested possessions and clearances and just failed to convert our set shots against the Bulldogs in that final quarter, to not kick away and to not give separation as well against the Bulldogs. It nearly cost us a win in that game. In this game here, failed set shot conversions as well as Geelong being first to the footy. They dominated contested possessions, tackle count, the clearances as well, forward 50 pressure as well. They were first to the footy, and by they, I mean fucking Patrick Dangerfield being first to everything, creating opportunities and prior opportunities and everything like that. We can't blame the umpiring for this one. Geelong, they were first to everything. They wanted the footy more. They dominated that final quarter. They ranked first for final quarter performances as well. We were ranked first for third quarter performances. We didn't win the third quarter. We conceded 2 late goals in that third quarter. Again, everything, the little things, coming back to bite Collingwood on the arse. And again, against a team like Geelong, this loss, we can't blame anyone but ourselves for this one. Like, just that fourth quarter alone, we were minus 27 in disposals, minus 13 for contested possessions, minus 5 for clearances, minus 8 for inside 50s, and we also lost the tackle count as well. So, again, Geelong, they wanted it more. They made us pay. We had every chance in the second and third quarter to wipe the floor with Geelong and run away with another victory, but wasn't to be. And again, against a team like Geelong, very efficient. It's a team I envy as well. So I'm not going to discuss the umpiring. There were controversial calls, fair enough, but it didn't cost us the game in this one. The umpiring or the umpires, they didn't make us miss our set shots in this one, all right? We missed the set shots, okay? So the umpiring narrative, it's a new day. We head into round 9. Forget about the umpiring. Heading into this game, we went in with 3 selection calls. Darcy Moore returning from his ear injury as well as vertigo symptoms. Lockie Schultz returning from his hamstring injury. And Mason Cox was called up, replacing Dan McStay with the MCL injury. Lockie Sullivan was dropped. And Jeremy Howe was managed, which, looking back on this performance as well, we really needed Jeremy Howe for this one. He had his best game last week or for the season. Jeremy Howe against Essendon for Anzac Day, a lot of intercept possessions. We needed a lot of that in that final quarter against Geelong, coming back to bite us on the arse. So I understand resting Jeremy Howe. We've got the 5-day break. We're an aging list as well. We need to manage our bodies and players as well. So, but we can't keep having these 2 in, 2 out, 3 in, 3 out calls, especially when we're very fortunate with our injury list right now. We've got a handful of players injured still. Some players not in our best 23. So we're going in with the best side possible. We can't be chopping and changing these sides based on the opposition, the 5-day breaks. We got to be more wise with these selection calls. And I think Jeremy Howe being managed also cost us this win. But just on the game itself, first quarter, Geelong kicking the first 3 goals of the game. To be honest, though, I wasn't too worried by that. Geelong first 3 goals of the game, you would have thought, oh, they're on the run here. But our forward 50 pressure or our forward 50 entries were very good. We were winning the clearances, dominating the clearances. Bloody Darcy Cameron wiping the floor with Reece Stanley by quarter time. Reece Stanley was injured, though, so I'm not sure if that was too much of a factor, though. But Darcy Cameron was on his way to having his best game ever. He still had a very good game, probably our best player still for the game here, as well as Brody Myercheck. But Darcy Cameron, very good in the ruck. I was expecting it to be a bit of a challenge with Reece Stanley, Mark Blitzarves, and also Sam de Koning, but Sam de Koning was playing as a key defender for the entirety of this game. Blitzarves was very good in the second half, and obviously Reece Stanley was injured and subbed off by quarter time. But just the first quarter, it was just our, again, failed set shot conversions, but our efforts and forward 50 pressure and entries and clearances, we were winning key stats in that one. Surprisingly had the lead at quarter time, but the second quarter and third quarter, or the majority of the third quarter, we had complete control, full ascendancy of the game. Once again, failed set shot conversions. Geelong making us pay. The thing about this Geelong team as well, you give them an inch, they take the full mile. Not silly turnovers, but the little turnovers, fumbling, slipping over, and just transition as well. They didn't kill us on quick transition compared to other games against them. So, but for them, they made us pay at critical times as well. At times when we had a 2-3 goal buffer and had opportunities to go 4 or 5 goals up as well. It's the fucking psyche as well about that as well. If we convert a set shot, go up by 25 plus points, we can run away with the game, full momentum as well. Player and pressure acts as well. Other players get into the game as well. When that doesn't happen, we're chasing tail and we're on the back foot. Couldn't put this Geelong team away. I don't think we'll ever put this Geelong team away. And I don't think we'll ever have a comfortable win over Geelong in quite some time as well. So second quarter, full control. We controlled the corridor as well. Geelong had to go wide to go forward. Bailey Smith was having to run out of the back pocket from defensive 50 transition as well. So we somewhat nullified Bailey Smith up until that final quarter. Patrick Dangerfield didn't play that stay-at-home forward role. He had to push up the ground. He had to be a battering ram as well. We had to make Patrick Dangerfield play his mid-2010 best performance here. And bloody hell, he fucking did. So, and Max Holmes in the second half as well. So we had to make Geelong think and counteract and do everything out of the ordinary to have Geelong beat us here. They kicked a couple of quick goals from centre clearances as well. So anytime we had that build-up, took us 5, 6, 7 minutes to kick a goal. They bounced back and kicked the goal in 30 seconds. So, and that happened in the third quarter as well. They kicked 2 late goals. It was an even third quarter as well. And I think they knew at 3-quarter time, being 7 points down, they were in it up until their eyeballs to win this game. And that's what fucking happened here. Light nitpick for me, though, was our forward 50 entries. Not the fast and direct entries. No issues there from me throughout the entire game. It was the bomb it long, high, and hope for the best entries that were pissing me off from time to time, particularly with Geelong's defensive setup as well. So credit to Geelong there. They were very quick in setting up defensively. It was almost like they were allowing us to go forward, but they were going to set up a wall down back. So to bomb it long and high and hope for the best. Brody Myercheck, he's only 192 or 191 centimetres, and we can't have him plucking contested marks like that every week. Darcy Cameron, we use him better defensively for intercepts. He only had one intercept possession for the entire game, Darcy Cameron, surprisingly. And Mason Cox, I guess he was ineffective. He provided a good chop out in the ruck, but they were kicking goals while Mason Cox was in the ruck. And Mason Cox, he wasn't a presence down forward as well. Sam de Koning had that covered. So for us going forward, we've got to have that balance in terms of fast and direct entries as well as our bomb it long and hope for the best entries as well. Up against Fremantle, their defenders individually, they're all interceptors. No one's really the lockdown type, so we can make them pay on that. Darcy Cameron played a very good game. Brody Myercheck kicking 4 goals, 3. Just a couple of set shots he would have preferred or would have kicked normally. So, but we also had a couple of players in Jordan De Goey and Bo McCreary below their best or below expectations as well. Bit of a liability. I'm not going to go too negatively on those two. They know they didn't play very well. They've got to bounce back. I'll talk more about Jordan De Goey in my preview video for round 9 against Fremantle. On the individual matchups, though, and it leads into, I guess, a tick for Geelong here. They tagged Nick Dacos. It was a hard tag as well. They didn't go with Tom Atkins or Mark O'Connor. They went with the other Irishman in Oisin Mullen. By half-time, though, Nick Dacos had the tag covered. He had, I think, 16 or 17 disposals, kicked the goal as well. Very good set shot as well. I thought he had the tag covered as well. He wasn't fully effective, though, but the perseverance by Mullen in the hard tag, Geelong were rewarded for that. Nick Dacos only having like 3 or 4 disposals in that final quarter, gave away a silly 50-metre penalty, and by 50-metre penalty, it was a bloody 35-metre penalty. I haven't even checked Fox Footy's tracker for that. I'm sure they would have done that, but yeah, very silly. Nick Dacos losing his head in that final quarter. It's just the little things like that. But besides that, Collingwood players, I thought the majority of our Collingwood players were good or serviceable, some very good. Again, Darcy Cameron, Brody Myercheck. But from the very good players, we had the bad players in Jordan De Goey and Bo McCreary. I'm not going to judge Mason Cox or Will Hoskin-Elliott on their performances, again, being subbed on, subbed off. Quite a few players also banged up as well. Bobby Hill with the shoulder, Dan Houston cramping in the hamstrings. We're 2 months into the home and away season. We've got players cramping. I know Dan Houston's missed a few games due to suspension, but you can't be cramping up 2 months into a season. Geelong, bloody Patrick Dangerfield in 2025, playing one of his best games or best final quarter performances. To be fair, though, and I can't complain, we still have Pendlebury and Sidebottom performing to their best in 2025. Bailey Smith, I thought, was the best player on ground from both sides from the start of the game to the end of the game. He was switched on from go to woe. Nice little jab by Bailey Smith in the post-game interview to the Dogs. So I'm looking forward to that game in a few weeks' time as a neutral. Max Holmes stood up in the second half. Just on my preview video, I said that the Geelong forward line and every individual player would step up and play better than they did last week against Carlton. Dangerfield, he stood up, but he wasn't a stay-at-home forward. He just stood up in general. Ollie Henry kicking 2 goals, the annoying little shit. Tyson Stengel kept goalless. We somehow kept Jeremy Cameron to 1 goal. Brad Close didn't kick a goal, but he was up the ground a little bit more. He had a better game here compared to last week. And Shadow Neal, for his first quarter alone, kicked the goal. Was a bit of not a menace, but a presence. Wasn't a menace, but he was a presence in the first quarter, but was kept quiet in quarters 2 and 3. Showed up again in the final quarter, but didn't kick a goal for the rest of the game. But I'll stop sounding like a broken record. I'll wrap this game up with a nice little bow and then ship it off and not think about it ever again. Our 6-game win streak comes to an end. The Q clash to end this round. The winner of that game goes top of the ladder. It's not out of the realm of possibility as well for Hawthorn to beat Richmond by over 100 points. We've got to bounce back. It's only a 5-day break as well. Not even a 5-day break of that if we're going to be technical about it. Up against Fremantle, who have a point to prove and looking to redeem themselves. We can't make Fremantle use us as a stepping stone to get their season back on track. It's going to be a tough contest against Fremantle. Again, 5-day break over there. I know the selection headaches and managing players and all that, it's coming back to bite us a little bit. So We're trying to get through this little tricky period, trying to get a win here and trying to stay inside the top 4 and then push on from there. I'm going to mention the VFL report real briefly because there was very little positives to come out of both the VFL Round 6 game as well as the VFLW Round 3 game on Saturday at Victoria Park. Collingwood's VFL team going down by 72 points to Footscray. Now, we had 8 AFL listed players for this game, down 5 from last week. Joel Cochrane out due to concussion. Mason Cox called up. Charlie West was rested for this game. I was going to say Charlie Wested, so fucking tongue twisted there. And Oleg Markov and Ed Allen, both the carryover emergencies in this one. We also had Will Parker only play the first half. He picked up a lower leg injury, and Will Hayes was also managed for this game. And by managed, he only played the second half. And I thought at the time this was done tactically as preparation for a possible debut next week against Fremantle as a tactical sub for his AFL debut. Bit of wishful thinking there, wasn't the case. And also for Will Hayes, he also picked up a knock in the third quarter, so he only played the final quarter, only had a couple of disposals, picked up a few tackles as well. A little bit lively, but you can only look so good in a 72-point loss, only playing a quarter of footy. Basically, our team got smoked against Footscray. No other way to describe it. Cal Jath, Charlie Dean and Jacob Ryan were some of our better players here, but that was by default, basically because the ball was bloody camped in our backline all game. Oscar Steen and Alero Smith worked as a ruck duo, but disappointingly lost to Lockie Smith, who's going to be a very fine cover for Tim English as depth. Surprisingly, or scarily as well, Bulldogs, their depth, unbelievable at the moment. They're in fine form in the AFL, and they've got more than 5 players putting their hand up for senior selection as well. Alero Smith, he kicked the goal on the halftime siren. He's a much better player as a ruck forward. He's not a key defender. And Harry Dematia, only having 11 disposals, had 6 tackles and 4 clearances, but overall, nothing positive from any AFL listed player in this one. 72-point loss. There's no selection headaches from our VFL performances in this one, and we've fallen out of the top 10 on the VFL ladder. And the VFLW team was no better as well. They went down to a wayward Bulldog side by 23 points, despite kicking the first 2 goals of the game on quick transition and making the Bulldogs pay for their errors. Unfortunately, though, down by 23 points, and Collingwood's AFL team, VFL team, and VFLW team all losing. 3 losses. What a great Saturday. And just on the Jack Crisp set shot loss before I wrap up this video, look, Jack Crisp is a very good set shot converter as well, so to see him miss that, again, symbolic in our loss for this one. Typically, I'd give that 8 out of 10 in cooking a goal from there, so he's a better player than that, better set shot converter as well, so he did choke on that, to be honest. So in saying that, though, that's the only negative out of that. Jack Crisp, congratulations, 245 consecutive VFL AFL games played, breaking the all-time record and counting as well. So let's see him get up to 250. Let's see him get up to 250 consecutive games while playing for Collingwood as well, and then we'd rest him. I said in my prediction video for the season that Jack Crisp would break this record, and then he'll be rested for a game completely. So not immediately after. I think at some point this season, Jack Crisp is going to be rested. He's old as well. He's over 30 years of age. Still durable. Not bad for a set of steak knives, but he'll be managed at some point as well, I fully expect. But Jack Crisp, congratulations. Unfortunately, the result not to be. But that'll be all from me for this Round 8 review of Collingwood v Geelong. It still hurts. Once this video is wrapped up, it's still going to hurt. It's still painful to process this, but we'll let it marinate. We'll bounce back. We'll hopefully get the win very soon. Again, for you guys, if you aren't subscribed to my channel, make sure you guys are subscribed. Leave a comment if you like. Happy to discuss all things Collingwood. Like the video as well. Share it as well to the MyKey inspector that checks your MyKey card on the train today or later on. In the meantime, though, have a very good weekend. Please be well. Please stay safe. Magpies out.